Yes. Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Now, I take my pleasure and honor to introduce our guest of speaker, our valedictory member, Professor Neeraj Saxena, sir. Dr. Neeraj Saxena, sir, is serving as an advisor and heading the Institutional Development Cell, IDC, of AICTE. Dr. Saxena got his doctoral degree in physics for his work in the area of acoustic remote sensing and its application to air pollution, carried out at the National Physics Laboratory, New Delhi. He was involved in establishing country's first indigenous Doppler sonars capable of remotely profiling wind and turbulence in the power atmosphere. Sir, we are honored to have you here. Over to you, sir.
We cannot hear you. Chaube sir, please unshare the screen.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. We can.
Yeah.
Okay. So good afternoon, Namaskar, and Jai Hind.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
So it's a pleasure to be part of this final leg of this international event that you are organizing. It's International Symposium on entry-level faculty and UG and PG students. It's all the more important because research is considered as 21st century skill. So we all do it. It is just that when we register for PhD, that it gets acknowledged that somebody has done research, but as human beings, we do research. So let me first thank Yadavji, the Chancellor of IEC University, Professor Chaube, whom I can see on my screen, then Dr. Subhendu. Thank you for having me here, and I hope I'll be able to add to the knowledge which has been gathered in the last 3 days by the participants. So as Professor Chaube was also deliberating and speaking about research. So research is all about challenging the status quo or exploration beyond the boundary of known knowledge or creation or synthesis of new knowledge. And it requires prior knowledge and resources and research and funds for its completion. So now that the knowledge is freely available, we have seen how it has impacted education. We have gone online, and online is going to be the future of education. So we see that tools of research, knowledge for research is freely available. So just a click away. So why not change the way we do research? After all, we have changed the way we learn. And research also involves learning. So why not think differently? We have been producing papers and lamenting about their quality. On almost every seminar we talk about this, we are concerned about the quality. Quantity is there, but quality is definitely not so impressive. So we have seen that teaching learning has been redefined by the pandemic. It was actually happening before that. Online learning had started in around 2003, and it just happened that pandemic made us go for it. So 21st century skill, among others, has research also listed there. This is to prepare better thinkers. It's not about being followers or being led by instructions. So PhD is a training in methods and methodologies in tools and techniques, in experimentation and data acquisition, and in documentation of findings, and also communicating it. And I believe that a researcher who has done research in an ethical way and with sincerity should be able to walk out of the shadow of his guide, his or her guide. If it is a genuine research, a researcher should be able to walk out and pick up an uncharted area and find something very interesting, an all new thing, and create a niche for himself or herself. That too in multidisciplinary areas, which NEP talks about, and also since I am addressing the youngsters. So having done PhD, they should be able to walk an uncharted territory and create a niche for themselves. And incremental research can be left to the guides for training and preparing crop of new generation, new researchers. So this is the way I think we should be proceeding to further the research, especially in the universities, where we have least risk. The researchers in university have advantage. They can take huge risk, unlike the one which is done in laboratories, which costs a lot. So the researchers, young researchers like you, should be able to look into blue sky areas or go beyond boundaries, which sadly doesn't happen because most of the youngsters gravitate towards comfort zones and end up doing what their supervisor was doing, and it's more of an incremental research. So we need to prepare. It is the responsibility of guides and the universities to create fresh crop of thinkers. It's not about creating PhDs, but also creating thinkers. And one of the reasons why I am prompted to say all this is that I also guided some BTech and MTech students, and I saw a difference in their approach to things. They have a very short duration project. And when I look back, I find that I spent about 9 to 12 months finding out a problem to set for myself and work on it for my PhD. But the young generation has access to literature and a series of problems which are already identified. So it doesn't make much sense to spend a lot of time searching for problems. We need to get smart. So problems are already listed out and they can be picked up. They can also look at patents in the domain of their interests. Complete catalog of global research is a click away for them. And also for the basic research, tools are also freely available, most of them. We also have a lot of agencies who throw up grant challenges, issue problem statements, conduct ideathons, ideation workshops. These were not there 30 years back when I did PhD. So we should embrace this reality and move or change our tracks. So university don't have to really open their mind to reflect on this proposition, but also I would urge them to open their heart. Let a guide be made optional or be there as a collaborator for those who want to do research in totally different area. After all, research is not about finding a solution. It is also finding out the reasons of not finding a solution. That is also research. So we need to understand this, and universities are generous they offer honorary degree without dissertation or contribution for contribution in public domain, then why not honor with a doctorate degree for designing a unique bridge or a superstructure or maybe a blockbuster movie, a medical breakthrough, or anything that adds to a knowledge. So we should not just remain confined to our conventional way of thinking about research and perpetuating it. We need to allow some changes in the way we do it. So universities have to think about it, and they should encourage independent researchers, set a very high bar for their publications, and make the thesis defense open. After all, in today's world, when we are out there in social media, you will have a lot of critiques, and our work is also subjected, is open for scrutiny by them. So why limit it just to university itself? Why it should be purely an academic exercise? Why not people outside also scrutinize it? So not only the quality of papers and publications will go up, the guides will also have to raise their quality or lose out to independent research. If they continue with what they are doing, they are still accepted because they'll be producing human resource researchers. They will continue to do that job. But for breakthrough research, something has to be done differently. And this should improve the quality of research, as I believe, and it will be totally a different area that they will choose to work. And this also requires changing at the school level, where we encourage rote learning and punish students for failing. Research is totally different from this concept, and we need to come out of the way we think. We need to make our children more curious, imaginative, and creative. So the rigid structure that we have for research and PhD also needs to be rethought. And since as a funding agency, not just AICT, and before that I was with TIFAC, DST, and we were funding. And I have my own observations that the quality is not good. Then there are reasons for it, because one of the reasons that I see is there is no collaboration. People want to do things in isolation. Even talking to faculty next door is not encouraged. So collaboration is something which is very weak. There is gross underutilization of the resources, the equipment, the software that is provided by the funding agencies. Then the quality of proposals is very often not good. I'm just giving one example. There is in most of the formats, there is a column where we ask for justification. And I've seen most of the researchers, most of the PIs end up telling what is the use of that equipment. They are not able to defend why they need it. And that's the answer which the funding agencies look for. So it is not about having good papers. It is also about creating a good infrastructure, and universities are best placed to inculcate all those values, all those skills, and create opportunities for new generation of thinkers. I would stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights and the profoundly informative session. Now, I request Dr. Anuprata Mishra, ma'am, Principal, IES College of Technology, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shanvi. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay. Thank you. A very good afternoon to all the dignitaries, respected Professor Neeraj Saxena sir, Advisor IICT New Delhi, Dr. S.C. Chaubey sir, Professor and Coordinator of TechTube RGPV, respected Engineer B.S. Yadav sir, Honorable Chancellor IES University, respected Honorable Pro-Chancellor Ma'am, Dr. Sumita Singh, IES University, principals, deans, head of the departments, faculty participants of IES University and outsiders. On the occasion of third day of online international research ecosystem for entry-level faculty and UG and PG students, challenges, opportunities. This was our area to discuss over here, and we did it in a proper manner, in a good manner. And the very fruitful conclusions are in our hand now. On behalf of IES Bhopal, let me have the privilege to extend a warm thanks to all present here, as well as who appeared in last 2 days also here on the online platform. On behalf of the management, faculty, and staff of IES Bhopal, I offer genuine thanks to our most valued invited guest of today's respected Professor Neeraj Saxena sir from IICT New Delhi and Professor S.C. Chaubey sir for finding time with us here from their busy schedule in this valedictory ceremony. We feel obliged to have such eminent amongst us. Thank you so much, sir, for both of you. IES University also want to thank all the speakers who gave their valuable time in last 2 days also and in these 3 days. I would like to thank respected Engineer B.S. Yadav sir, Honorable Chancellor IES University. I really thank him, and from my deep of heart, really we bow for his vision and then envisage for the faculty fraternity and the students in terms of research. Want to thank respected Dr. Sumita Singh, Honorable Pro-Chancellor IES University for her enthusiastic support and guidance extended to all of us. I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all who have directly, indirectly, across the group put their efforts, enormous efforts to make this event successful. Finally, I would like to thank each and everyone. We thank you for being with us this afternoon. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much.